One more drink, one more drink. You know in the morning for sure we gon' stink. One more round, one more round. It's 5 a.m., you pricks, the barkeep frowned. This is what we do, catch up for a few. We'll riff and talk some shit and then we'll sleep till 2. Talk some shit and then we'll sleep till 2.
Woo! Hey, here we are, folks. It's a hot one. We got a new pod name. Let's get it right out of the gate. We fucked up again.
We fucked up. And it's not a big fuck up. We didn't see it when we did the original search. We've changed the name of this podcast so many times.
Yeah.
It is now, and the podcast isn't even on the air anymore, but I just don't want to take another pod's name. So let's get this out of the way.
Yeah, this thing fluctuates like Oprah. All right. That was a 90s joke.
It really was. You should have thrown Ricky Lake under the bus while you're at it. Holy shit.
Ricky Lake. Donahue sucks. Fuck Donahue. All right.
Take that, the People's Court with Ed Koch.
By the way, Judge Judy, one of the richest people in America.
Unreal.
So
fact. Rich.
Brooklyn
so
Jew, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. We're getting a lot. Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. We got a news segment, but let's out of the gate. We are now called what, Mark?
We are called We Might Be Drunk.
That's the new name. We might be drunk.
Yes.
And I feel like it's like a disclaimer. It lets us off the hook for what we might say.
Exactly. It's a cool T-shirt that like a frat guy would wear at a party. We might be drunk, you know.
It's a good tumbler if you want to make. We need logos. We need a new logo. If you want to send us logos, just tweet at both of us so we both see. Or I don't know. Is that the best system, Mark? What do you think?
DM. I check all the DMs like a fat chick. So send them in. I'll read them.
Or email. Just a guy.
Well, a guy is essentially a fat chick. We're desperate. We're horny. We're lonely. We're not hot, but yeah. So yeah, send them in, and are we changing the email as well? I assume.
Let's just keep the email for now.
All right.
Let's just keep it because it's easier. Yeah, it's one more drink with Mark and Sam. Is that it? What?
Or Sam and Mark.
It's I'll double check.
All right.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
I think
we might be drunk at Gmail. It feels a lot easier, but I don't want to.
Let's keep this for now. We will eventually change it.
Okay.
But yeah, for now we're still one more drink with Mark and Sam at Gmail. We'll change that.
Beautiful. All right. Now we got the housekeeping out of the way. How the hell are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. I think don't tell me. Is that the old bar on 17th Street?
No. Oh, wow. Great guess. I think your guess would be Peter McManus.
No. I think it's called like Old New York Bar, Old Bar. Or
no, I'm rocking PJ Clark's little classic New York. Been here forever.
Great spot. Cougar Central, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that was like I was in the shit and yeah. Well, yeah, great bar.
All right.
Dilfs, hot Dilfs, MILFs, the whole, just rich people in general go there.
It's just a cool bar, though. It's just like a classic, great burgers.
Yeah.
I believe the original shut down, which is such a bummer. It's in everything. It's in like Mad Men, Woody Allen would like go. It's like old school New York.
Damn, they closed?
I think the original did close. I could be wrong, but yeah, bummer.
What's up with Smith and Walensky's? I feel like I see that everywhere.
Never been.
Yeah, it's kind of like a ripoff of PJ Clark, I think.
Well, it's a steakhouse, right? So I feel like if it's a ripoff of anything, it's like, you know, oh my God. By the way, some guy fucking tore us apart. I only read one email, and this one dude just like tore us apart for our assessment on Phil Spector. And I was like, hey, man, we said out of the gate we don't know music. And he was like, how dare you? Here's another thing I'm going to say. We might be drunk. We don't know. This is a free podcast unless you're doing the Patreon, and then it costs. But also, don't get so fucking worked up. This is an eavesdropping of two dudes who are drunk at a bar. That's what this podcast is.
Exactly.
We didn't say we're experts.
Yeah, that guy who wrote an angry, that guy needs one more drink. I know that's the old name, but we might be drunk. We're rattling
keeping the
off
theme.
shit.
We can keep the theme though. It's still a drinking podcast.
Yes. And speaking of that, what the hell are you sipping on there?
I got a little Negroni action, a little Negroni.
Ooh,
In
nice.
my Syracuse Funny Bone mug. I need new cups. I need to get some new glasses here.
Great drink in a bad club.
classic drink from Italy. It's an Italian drink. They love their Campari in Italy. And I believe it was an Americano in the 40s. So a guy was drinking an Americano and he wanted to be stronger. So he replaced the club soda with gin. Like it's such an alcoholic's drink that it was like, just get more alcohol in here and lose club soda. It's like, it's sweet vermouth, Campari, and gin. It's like a total, just like grab everything in the bar. I love shit.
Right. What the hell is vermouth? I put in all kinds of stuff. I love a martini, but I don't even know what it is.
Well, martini, you go dry vermouth, and then like a Negroni or a Manhattan, and people already shitting on me. I'm seeing Manhattan with a D with my dumb fucking New York accent. But that's also sweet vermouth. I have no idea. Is it like a liqueur or something?
I guess. Yeah, I think it is a liqueur, but I've drank it straight before and it's horrific, but it works when it's in stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. There's an actor like that. There's probably an actor who's horrible on his own, but you put him in something and he's great. You know,
I have so many.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Christian Slater. Well, he's fine on his own.
Slater's good. He had a good run.
Maybe Walken. Everybody loves Christopher Walken, but I don't know if he can carry a movie.
He can carry a movie. Walken can carry a movie with the best of them. Dead Zone.
Dead Zone. What is this? What are you going to Blockbuster? I haven't heard that movie since '84.
Oh, that was a good movie, man.
Wow, I saw that on USA once with my dick in my hand in a hotel in Cincinnati. Dead Zone. Wow, I don't know
what the saddest part of that story was. Dead Zone, Cincinnati, or dick in my hand.
Probably the dick. But let's see. He kind of, I think he was in Suicide. No, what was that movie?
Deer Hunter. He had other people, but he's in Deer Hunter. He's in Walken can handle shit. I get what you're saying. He crushes it as a supporting player.
Right. Maybe Favreau. Great in Swingers, but I don't know if he can hold a movie on his shoulder.
Yeah, but now he's like the Mandalorian director. He did Iron Man. He's doing all right.
Doing great. I love Swingers. I love the whole story behind that. You know, just a young kid from Queens trying to make it, and he got Doug Liman to direct it.
Great director.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'm going. Me.
Oh yeah. What do you got?
Oh, sorry. Got the round ball. Yeah. You know, I've been mixing it up. I had an eggnog, whatever the hell that was, with bourbon. Then I had what did I have? An old fashioned. So tonight I'm just going straight down the pipe, baby.
Oh, McKellen 12. Well done.
Oh yeah, I got look at that little cutie. God damn this shit.
You're
fading out like Back to the Future. But yeah. We're gonna pour that puppy right on top of that round ice.
Love the McKellen, man. Classic.
Oh yeah,
can't go wrong. Classic. I miss those at the cellar. I think we talked about that when I had one on the show, episode 1 or 2, back when we were one more drink and we were just kids with the dream.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, man. McKellen can't go wrong. Scotch. Ooh, and you do the round cube, man.
Oh, game changer. It's got just a little bit of kick, but it's still smooth. I think it's one of the most tasty scotches. I think double cask.
It's a classic. It's a classic. So what's going on with you, man? How you been?
Good. I just got back from Oklahoma City, and it's one of those cities that flying to is a cunt and a half. It's like 8 layovers and 2 changes and a baggage claim and all that. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. How was the hotel?
It's fine. I got a Spring Hill Suites. I like a mediocre hotel. I want middle of the road.
Yeah.
Because the nice hotels, you go to the Four Seasons, The Wi-Fi is $18. The breakfast
hate
is
that.
$1 million.
You know why, right? Because they got in on the Wi-Fi early. I think they got in like early. So then they were like, they paid a lot of money for whatever system they have. It was something like weird.
Oh, is that
But
right?
then like the shittier hotels were like, yeah, it's free.
Yeah, exactly. Then you get a free breakfast, and there's coffee in the lobby. You try to get a coffee at Four Seasons. It's $17.99 or whatever.
Oh my God, don't you hate that shit?
Hate it. And it's too hip. Like I got 17 pillows with tassels on them and a big bed frame. I don't know. I don't need all that. Just give me a towel and a TV and I'm good.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I if I'm booking it myself, I take a buyout. I am going to book a boutique hotel just because I want a cool hotel. I want to see a new. I'm sick of the chains, but like if I'm going to be in a chain, put me in like a Best Western with like a good free breakfast and like it's just down the middle. I'm cool with it. I'm down with it.
Same. The lady comes in. She's nice. She's some kind of crazy Hispanic race, and she's cool as shit. She's in there. What's going on? Not to get too 80s on you, but what's going on with these housekeeping ladies? Like they're knocking. I'm going. I'm good. I'm good. And they just never hear it. They want to come in.
And these airlines with the peanuts. I mean, come on. I can't. No, I'm with you. It is weird when they just knock on the door and you're like, I got the do not disturb sign on. What are we doing here?
And why I'm giving you less work,
Yeah,
like,
but
why would you want to come in?
They get paid by the room.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure. We need someone to fact check this, but I think that's why they're so aggressive about it.
All right. Well, that would make sense because they're like
they want it.
They're shoving it in. It's too much. Lay off, Chiquita. I don't know. That's a black name. What's Rosalita? There we go.
I like that you thought that made it less offensive. Like, let me just change it to another race. So it's not me. Let me.
Well, I got the Hispanic part. But yeah, good to be back.
I'm glad we changed the name to We Might Be Drunk. This is. I might have been drunk. That's why I said it.
Exactly. I was altered. I was a different person. But yeah, great weekend. Great stay. Great to be back though. That I got up at 5 a.m. to get the flight, and you don't get home till 6 p.m. It's like a 12-hour travel day.
Oh my God, that's brutal. The layover now too. Yeah, that's horrible. I didn't do shows this weekend. I did do a couple shows during the week, just running new stuff. But I tell you what I did do last night. I watched the fight.
Oh, I just watched it. Unbelievable.
That was, I mean, all the fights are pretty good. That guy, Chandler, was pretty amazing too. But the McGregor fight, you're like, holy shit, man. I'm not a big fight guy, but maybe I'll get into it. It's kind of fun.
I mean, that was a special case because, McGregor, they fought before. McGregor wiped the floor with him, I think, in the first round. And then everybody
but it was like 7 years ago, though.
No, it wasn't that long.
Yeah. They were both 25, and now they're both 32.
What?
Yeah.
You sure
2014.
About that?
I'm sure, yeah. Poirier versus McGregor, because they kept saying that. Dude, he also so funny. Poirier is like the best guy. You just hear him speak. And you're just like, I just love this dude. Every day he was like, and another thing, like anyone who like works it immediately back to their foundation, I'm like, all right, he's a good dude.
Yes, a good fight foundation. He's friends with Theo Vaughn. He's from Louisiana. I love this guy. Like I went to a UFC fight with Theo Vaughn like 5 years ago. Wow. And Poirier was there and he won, and he got out of the octagon and hugged Theo. And I was like, wow. Oh, how big are you? I know you have a mullet, but like, I didn't know you knew every fighter. This is insane.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, it's also like, it's funny when certain guys like Stipe Miocic is another one who
I love that guy.
I love that guy. He also is just like a bad motherfucker, but he's like a volunteer firefighter.
I know. How
it's
cool
like
is
as
that?
if you're not likable enough. I met him once. I have his phone number, which is
what
I did a scene with him on Billions, and we spent the whole day together. It was Dan Soder's character, Mafi, was fighting. That was the episode. And
what? Who are you? Yeah. You're in Joker. You know Stipe. I don't know who you are anymore.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. It's like the Soder's Corner. Brian Koppelman and David Levine, who created Billions, are like the coolest guys, and they make the show very hip, obviously, but like the corner for the show is like, I forgot who was in the other guy's corner, but in Soder's corner it was Tim Ferriss, me, who was just supposed to be his burnout friend, and then Stipe Miocic, who was the fighter, and I didn't really know him, so I was kind of just like shooting the shit with him, like and I'm sure he loved that. I'm sure the fact that everyone else was like, "Oh my God, can I have a picture?" And I was just like, "Oh, what's up, man?"
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure that made it easier. But
he seems like a regular knockaround guy, like firefighter, likes to drink beers and watch football or whatever. And he's 6'5", I think.
Huge and so fucking cool. And
wow.
Yeah, I ended up texting him once because I was at Hilarity. I was like, I can't make it tonight, but next time. I was like, he's a good guy though. He responded.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Wow.
I would never have the balls to do that, but he was like, tell me when you're in Cleveland. And I was like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. How cool is that?
He was very cool.
I always assumed, because I used to watch him fight, and you go, oh, his name's Stipe, he's Croatian. So I always assumed he was from there because of his name and everything, because I never heard him talk. And then I saw him on Rogan. He sounds like a fucking mook. He's like, hey, what's going on? You know, he's just like a big beefcake. Yeah,
dude. And I got into him because he was so cool. I don't know a lot about fighting. It's not I'm into basketball. I like baseball, football. I don't know a lot about fighting. So I kind of got into him after, because like, wow, what a great guy. Let me look him up. I'm like, oh, he's like one of the greatest fighters to ever live. I'm a dumb fuck.
Yeah, I think he literally is the heavyweight champion right now. He beat, we don't have to go too into it, but he beat this guy DC, who's also amazing, and Daniel Cormier, and he beat him because they fought twice. Well, they fought 3 times, but Cormier beat him once, and he's just a great striker, great boxer. Yeah. But then Stipe was like, all right, he might be better at boxing than me, so I have to figure out a plan. And he went in with a plan and won. He just kept dodging his punches and punching him in the liver. And it worked. And eventually the guy just crumbled and he beat the shit out of him. Like, I love fighting. I love smart fights like that.
Yeah, he was talking about it last night. It's hilarious. By the way, the guy who hated us, the Phil Spector guy, is now like, please never talk about fighting again. You fucking idiots. It was interesting to hear him talk about it. He was saying like Miocic is in the best shape of his life. It was very cool. So I'm definitely going to watch. I'll start watching this stuff. It's fun. It's
great. It's so unpredictable. That's the beauty of it. I mean, I guess all sports are, but like, I really thought, I hate to say it, I thought Conor was going to take him, especially in the first round. I felt like he was dominating, and then Poirier pulled out some fucking leg kicks, and it was pretty great.
That's what all the experts were saying. They're like, if it favors Conor in the first round, but then after that, because Poirier's conditioning is so good that it was, if it goes further, it's all his. So
right. Yeah, it's crazy too. Like, if you would have bet on Poirier, you would have made so much money too.
Damn, now you're fucking. Now watch us become degenerate gamblers now too. I always think about that. I'm like, I watch basketball. I'm like, I knew that was going to happen. I feel like I should, but I don't. I just like it so much that I don't need it. I feel like gambling a lot of the time is for people that like need that extra thing and aren't as into it. I love it enough to just watch it.
That's true. I mean, they literally say, let's make this interesting. That's what they say when they bet.
So true. Artie Lang used to have a great joke about you want to make a football game exciting, bet $1,000 in the Giants when you only have 500 in your account.
Man, that guy lives. I mean,
legend.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's so funny. He's probably the funniest guy at a table to talk to.
Yeah,
he can just hang. He can talk about anything, and it's interesting and captivating. Coolest dude.
Quick wit, brilliant storyteller. Yeah, I love Artie. I miss him. I hope we see him at some point, man.
I know, and his backstory is like something out of like an old 50s like rebel without a cause thing. He was like a pool hustler, and he would get into fist fights, and he sold drugs and all this shit.
There was a story in his book where his dad, would take him to the Yankees games, and he was like, when they won the World Series, he was like, all right, I can't go on the field after they win, but I can throw you on the field and then say, oh my God, my son, I have to get him. So he's like, I'm going to throw you on the field.
Wow.
And it happened, and they got to like march the field with the Yankees as they won the World Series. It was kind of touching.
That's incredible, man. I wish my dad was like that, but my dad wore a rumpled suit and was a lawyer, and I'm like, oh, what a nerd. And now I'm kind of glad he was that way.
Oh my God. Isn't that weird when you grow up and you're like, oh man, you look at your friends growing up who have like eccentric, weird parents. You're like, I wish my parents, and then you're like, thank God.
Yes.
Thank God that wasn't the case.
I know. I had a friend whose dad smoked weed and drank like fucking High Life all day, and he wore a wife beater, and he would like fix the lawnmower, outside. And I was like, wow, what a cool dad. And he's like, he hits me. He hits my mom. He's in jail tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm glad my dad's a fucking dweeb.
Yeah,
a
it's so
briefcase.
I used to have a bit about that. The dad who smokes weed with the kids. You're like, this guy's awesome. Then you go up and you're like, oh, it turns out he's a grown man who does drugs with children. So it turns out he's not. Turns out he's not that cool.
Right,
But it's so
exactly.
true. You always think that's the cool parent, and then you grow up and are like, yikes.
Yeah, yeah. And I used to go home and be like, "Oh, Dad, you're such a nerd. You know, you're doing your taxes like a fucking douche." You know, and my dad was like, "Yeah, whatever."
You're doing your taxes is such a good burn.
And I was like, you're on the grid. You're sucking up to the man.
What about what are those parents that are like, I'd rather you do it here than out there? And it's kind of like, let them do it out there. Don't be responsible for a bunch of 12-year-olds getting fucked up in your supervision. That's almost creepier.
I completely agree. My dad was like, get out of my face, go outside, go break some shit. He did not want me around.
Yeah, make it a challenge. You know what I mean? Don't just like give him the keys to your liquor cabinet at 12 and be like, knock yourself out.
Yeah, cool. Exactly. Go explore, go fuck around and do shit. That's too insular. You know, now you're drunk around your mom. You know, you got her in a headlock, like, hey, you put on weight, cunt. You know, it doesn't work. It's not a good lifestyle.
What it's not a good lifestyle at all. What about
getting drunk around other people's parents was awesome.
Yeah.
But your own is weird.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. Like, I remember really thinking it was cool that I knew kids who smoked weed with their parents. And now I'm like, I can't even imagine being high with my mom. I think it would be the worst thing ever.
Oh, God, that's a nightmare. I'm on edge around my mom already. If I was high, it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, I just feel like it's like the last person I want to get baked with. Like, I love my mom. I just don't want to do drugs. But the kids who do like hard drugs with their mom, they're just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Remember when you realized that parents were just older versions of you? Like, because you used to look at their parents. It was like another sector. It was like another group, you know? And then you're like, oh, you're just me a few years later. You're just me with a mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's weird because you you used to have a great bit about it, about how you're like, oh, these drunks are just making it up as they go along, you know?
Oh, yeah, right.
I mean, it's so, but it's, you know, you look at them with reverence and you're like, oh my God, they're so important and they know more than me. And then you grow up and you're like, they were faking it a little bit.
Of course. And then your mom pulls your dad aside, like, why'd you say that? I said no to that. You said yes. You're killing me here. Like these weird power dynamics, you know, and you had no idea all that behind the scenes stuff. One
of my favorite lines in The Sopranos ever is after they get into an argument with Meadow. I think she wants to go to like Spain and do like a year abroad or something. And it's a whole fight. And they're like, what do you do? Like, oh no, not even a year abroad. She wants to take a year off, find herself. One of those. We're like, oh boy. And they fight and she runs away and Carmela turns to Tony and she's like, what are we going to do when she realizes that we're powerless?
Wow. That's heavy.
That's fucking great.
That's a great line. It's so true. That nails it. Yeah. Like we have friends now with little kids who have to like discipline them. And I'm like, I've seen you do blow off a stripper's ass. And now you're like, hey, Ricky,
no cursing.
You know, put that down. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, dude. I'm so not good at being around kids. I was with Salacuse the other day, our buddy, and we were just walking around. He's with Charlie's little kid, and we're walking. I forget the kids there, so I'm like, man, do you hear about that lunatic at 110th Street on the subway the other night? And he hits me, and I'm like, he was giving out candy to everybody. It was crazy. He just kept handing out candy, and he's just like, you fucking asshole. Like,
yeah,
you heard about that knife wielding lunatic on the 110th Street stop who just was like butt naked.
Oh yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Ended up dying. Pulled someone onto the tracks. Another guy jumps on to save that guy, a good Samaritan, and then the naked guy got burned by the third rail.
Whoa! But the other guys are okay.
They went to the hospital, but it wasn't serious.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if they're okay.
They're a little shook up, I'm sure.
I'm sure they're not going to take the subway for a while.
Wow, man. New York's back, huh?
We're back, baby.
Every news story I see is like, you know, I saw one where a squirrel was wielding a knife. Did you see that one?
A squirrel.
There's a squirrel in Harlem in some lady's backyard. He's holding a knife. It's like, Jesus, this town is out of control.
It It's weird that we do get like kind of happy because it's like, you know what? It is craziness, but for some reason, I'm like, yeah, it's like people are still here and they're still dealing with the bullshit. And that kind of speaks to the resilience of the city. I don't know why it makes me happy, but like, I do feel like the people that stuck it out and stuck around, I kind of like, all right, you get a little extra New York honor. You get a little New York badge of honor, respect.
Yeah, definitely. Especially all these Brooklyn queefs I see who bitch and moan all day. Then now they have Instagram videos of them at their parents' beach house. So like, I'm getting out of New York, and I'm like, I thought you were this artist. I thought you were this struggling, starving artist. And now I realize, oh, you're fucking loaded. Your parents live in Connecticut on the lake.
Well, it's also just like it's like, how is that good for your art?
Yeah. Well, they just don't want to be uncomfortable.
Running away from your life is not good for art.
Exactly. Good point. But I guess they're like, I live in a shoebox. I have no money anyway, and now I can't work, so I got to leave. But like, Hey, come on, we stuck it out.
I think pivoting is important right now, and I think you should, find ways to create despite, although I guess so many people have a podcast now, they could probably do that from wherever. But, if you really want to be a comic, there's ways to get around this, I think.
Yeah. You got to adapt. You got to get creative. You start a pod like we did, or you do a web series or put out a special on YouTube, whatever it takes. You got to stay relevant.
Got to hustle, man. Yeah. It's such a fucking weird time. It's like, it's funny. It's like I was doing like an outdoor show and some guy drives by on the sidewalk on like a dirt bike. And I'm like, that's not legal. Then I was like, wait, what I'm doing is not legal either. This is all illegal.
Good point. Yeah, it's the Wild West, and we're all in on it. It's weird how it's become normal. Like everything was crazy, but now it's all we talk about is vaccine. We had a crazy election. There's fucking people rioting at the Capitol. Like everything just keeps one-upping. Not that that's normal, but like everything.
The vaccine is every conversation where you're like, it's funny when it's like the people that are lining up, how like there was word they were like, they're going to go bad. So people show up at the end of the night, like they're fucking muffins at Starbucks. You're like, can I have one?
I got to get that cronut. They're running out. Oh, I didn't know that.
People at the end of the night were like, there's extra vaccines. They're going to have to throw them out. So yeah. But then there's other places like Mount Sinai where they didn't get the vaccines in, but they took appointments and then they ended up not getting them in. So those people didn't even get vaccines. So it's a fucking mess, obviously. Ooh, but damn. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. But you also got to be grateful. The polio vaccine took 14 years to perfect.
14. Damn.
And now we knocked it out in like 9 months or 8 months.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I think that what was the record for a vaccine before this is like years. It was
yeah.
What, like 6 years or something? I don't know. So
I don't know either.
There was something. It was a lot.
Somebody's pissed in the inbox.
Phil Spector guy. And another thing.
Yeah, he's got a lab coat on.
Don't talk about vaccines if you don't. Okay, we won't talk about anything. We don't know anything. Does that make you happy? I know, fucking right? Piece of shit.
Yeah, people are upset. I think it gives him a personality. He knows about Phil Spector. He cares about it, and so if we fuck it up, he gets.
We fucked it. I understand it. I'm fucking around. I've been drinking.
We might be drunk.
We might be drunk.
This McAllen's going down easy. The problem with these airplane bottles is I'm like about to kill a bottle. Literally, I'm about to finish a bottle, and it's bad for you mentally.
It's also like a little badge of honor where you're like, yeah, I finished. It's like a short story. You're like, I completed it. You know what I mean? It's like it's not a whole thing. It's not as intimidating. So you do more.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, this is a real page turner. I can't put it down.
Well, I'm gonna go up. I'm switching drinks right now because I brought one to my desk because I had a feeling I want to keep going. So I'm gonna do a little light drink now, a little Campari and soda.
Oh,
I do here's a little Sam Morril life hack here if you want to know if you're a drinker or if you just want to like chill and you don't want to get too fucked up. You want to have a few of these. If we're talking about
first, Sam's a hack for life.
So you put a little Campari in there, lemon spindrift, the seltzer.
Oh.
Bam! You got a nice little drink right there.
That's great. Those little carbonated things are just made for cocktails.
It's the best, Jerry. So good.
You're talking about being bad around kids. I have 2 nieces. One is 6 and one is 2, and I am the worst uncle, not the worst. The worst would be touchy. But I'm like a horrible uncle because they're like, Mark, they're like playing with, like showing me pictures they drew and paintings and stuff. I'm like, yeah, how about that? Pretty good. And I like punch her in the shoulder. I can't connect. It's there's a wall up. It's so bad.
You're like, can I bounce a bit off you? Like, he's 4.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, how about this Fauci? You know?
Dude, Natterman has the best uncle joke. Have you heard that joke?
How's it go?
Where he goes, you know, if you're a bad dad, that can mean a lot of things, right? We don't know exactly what that means. If you're a bad uncle, we know exactly what you did. That's
Nails
fucking
it.
perfect. So concise. I love it.
He's so good at that. His marriage joke, I'm so jealous of, where he's
It's a
like,
classic.
you know, marriage, if it was a car, you'd never buy it. Like, how's this car running? Well, it's not easy. Bam, nails it in one word.
Not easy. Yeah, and then the turn is like, but then you hear about the new Game of Thrones. You got to. It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that bit's great. Yeah, Natterman has some great bits.
Yeah, check out his Letterman, Dan Natterman, if you haven't seen it. It's a
he's got an
Letterman.
album and stuff. Also check out Andrew Rivers, young comic, funny guy.
Yeah.
He's got a new YouTube special. Give it a YouTube search. Check it out. I've worked with him before. Good dude and a funny dude. So support and show some love.
Yeah, we're all about the YouTube specials, baby. I mean, Tyler Fisher, he's a funny guy.
Love him, yeah.
Another special, energetic, different. Should have been on SNL. They missed out on that one. He's a talent. Mike Cannon's got one. Joe List. Giannis. Dave Smith. Giannis.
So many people. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, so many. I mean, the list is endless, but support, check it out, and you could always use more comedy. That's the thing. It's like sometimes I'll just watch something and like laugh, and you're like,
yeah,
you forget how valuable that shit is, man. Like,
I know
when you're having like a rough day, when you're down in the dumps, you watch just a fucking new funny thing. It's fucking great. I was watching this show, How To with John Wilson. Have you seen that?
Oh, dude, I wrecked that last week. I couldn't think of the name. I called it something.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it to me on a text, and then Salacuse mentioned it to me in a text. So I watched the first couple. I love it. I love this guy.
It's like documentary meets comedy meets quirky.
Is it real? It's
real. He's a weirdo. He's not that guy.
He's not feeding these people with shit to say.
No.
Some of it's almost like too perfect. Where I'm like,
I know the amount of footage this guy has is. Salacuse told me a funny story. Read like an article about him, and he said like the IRS hit him up, and they're like, "You're writing everything off. This is crazy." And he goes, "No, I just carry a camera around me. I'm always working, literally." And they're like, "You can't just write off 24 hours or 12 hours of your day. You don't have a job." And he's like, "No, this is what I do." And they came to his house, and he showed them the stack of zillions of tapes, and they were like, okay. He looked like a hoarder. They're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So it worked.
He's incredible, man. Yeah, I love it. I mean, what was brilliant about the show to me is that like it borders on making fun of these people, and then he has that moment at the end of the pilot where this young for people that haven't seen it, he just documents everything. Yeah, he ends up going to Cancun to get a vacation, but it's MTV Spring Break.
Yeah,
so it's a nightmare. He's at the resort, and he's with this young kid who's like seems like a bit much. He's like wants to be a rapper, and he's like a white kid, and he's like, you're like, all right, and then he tells a story about his friend dying, and you realize that's why he's in Cancun. He's like, why is this kid here alone? Is he like a odd? And then you're like, oh, fuck. Like he does a good job of like bordering on making fun of people, but then showing that they're 3-dimensional. And
yes,
and it's kind of it's a hard line to walk, and he does it really well. Where it has warmth.
Yes. And you realize he's alone. Did you see the one with the neighbor or his landlord? Is that old Polish lady? Oh my God.
I can't wait. I'm loving it.
It's great. It's warm. It's like you said, it's got heart, but it's silly and a lot of visual gags and just the footage he gets. Like he's just filming a EMT walking out with a gurney and they drop the body and he's like, oh shit. And they put it back. And that's just a random shot he got in Brooklyn somewhere. It's unbelievable.
It's incredible. And he, it's just so funny. Yeah. It's funny. Salacuse like, I don't know if you'll like it. I'm like, what am I fucking made of stone? Come on, man. I don't like when people are like, they recommend something and they're like, I don't know if you'll like I love it. I don't know if you'll like it. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I not up to your fucking standard comedically, motherfucker?
I get what he's saying because it's not exactly comedy. It's deeper. It's like kind of a
It is comedy though.
it's definitely funny, but you wouldn't go into it like it's a Jim Carrey movie. You know, it's like
That's not all I like.
well, I'm not saying you. I
No,
would
but
recommend
it's like,
this.
you know, when someone's like, you're like, I remember a guy once said this to me watching this, like, she's from like England or something, some comic, and I was laughing really hard. She's really funny. Forgot her name. And years ago, so many years ago, and the guy turns to me and goes, "Oh, I didn't think you would like her." And I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean? I have to like everyone who's like me? What makes you think I love myself?"
Well, you know, I don't know. I want to say this though. The DJ guy or the rapper guy, I remember being that kind of guy. Like,
yeah, me too.
Just lost. You're going out to Florida to try to get laid and try to make friends, and you're getting drunk as shit every night doing drugs, and you just want a connection, and you got nothing. It's like you're just floating in space. You got nothing to hold on to. That's why comedy is such a godsend for guys like us.
Well said. Yeah, I feel the same way. We drank so hard when we were young.
Oh, yeah.
We were searching for that connection. I feel like there were like nights between us when we were young comics where we just fucking like linked up and talked for hours. You know, it'd be at a bar, whatever, at a club, whatever we were. But it's like that shit is hard to find. So if you're young and you're searching for that shit, it's there. You will find people like you or that connect to you. It is a challenge though, you know.
Oh,
you're young and you're like, I feel like I'm not like these people, because that kid wasn't like those other kids.
Right. He was different. He was weirder. He was quirkier, and they were like, you know, hot dudes fist pumping and like smoking hot girls in bikinis. And he thought like, hey, they're cool. I'll be cool. I'm cool, but they don't accept him.
But he was
I've
in
been
pain
there.
too. It's also interesting when you're like in pain and you're trying to maybe internalize it by being like, I'll just go party. And it's like, well, that's not how pain works.
Right.
You don't get rid of pain by going to Cancun and doing fucking, you know, senor frogs or whatever the fuck you're doing.
But when you're that young, that's all you know, because I did that. I was like, I'm bummed out. I'm depressed. I'm sad. I'm lonely. Let's get shit faced. And you know, the saddest guy that you know just kept upping the partying. It was like booze, weed, pills, coke, then eventually heroin, and then who knows what.
And then you get to methamphetamine, and that's when you become cool again. So give it a shot, guys. Get in there.
Keeps you in line, you know, it sobers you up. Yeah, before you know it, you're repairing the vacuum cleaner in the front lawn. But yeah, it's a dark time. Like I always am thankful for comedy just because I have something to work towards that I care about. Because I think that's one of the biggest keys to happiness. Everybody's like, you got to meditate and you got to, you know, whatever. But I think it's mostly finding a path that fits you and just going towards it.
Yeah, and just finding people that you connect with. Like connecting is so hard. And it's funny, like I feel like we can enjoy alcohol more now because we are connected. Like I could hang out with you without alcohol. But when you're young, and I mean, that's why you drink on the first date, right?
Yes.
Because you're not connected to that person. So you're like,
point.
This is a social lubricant. Let me fucking lube it up right now.
Yeah.
Whereas with, you know, your friends, you know, guess what? If you got to get fucked up with your friend all the time, that's not your friend. That's your drinking buddy. It's a difference, right?
Big
so
difference.
Like you're my friend who I drink with.
Right. Yes, but we could do both. Like if you were going sober January or whatever the hell it's called, dry January, we could still hang. But if you want to get fucked up, I'll do that too, which is a good place to be with a friend. Man,
people that are sober, that is a challenge. I really think about that all the time. Like I think about going places sober. Like that is tough. I mean, I don't know if I'm saying like I need to get fucked up. I'm like having like a drink or two.
Yeah.
Right?
Like but something to do.
But showing up sober, those people deserve credit. I don't know how many sober listeners we have, but like shouts out to people that go to things without a substance inside them.
Yeah.
That shit ain't easy.
It ain't easy. And even holding a beer, just having that beer in your hand at the party or the bar, that's a load off. That takes off like 20% of the edge. But fuck even drinking it, just holding it. You go to the bar. Now I have something to do. I'll put the money down. I'll grab the beer.
It's like holding a gun. If something goes wrong, I got this here.
Yeah, this will save me, you know? But yeah, it's tough. And like you said, a first date without drinking, like how many sober people do we know that are like, I haven't been laid in 6 months? I'm like, what are you, crazy? Like, when I don't drink, I don't know what to do.
Right. No, it's tough. It's a challenge.
Yeah, yeah.
But then
It's
some
just-
people come from like alcoholic families and you kind of
Yeah.
get why they don't. So it's kind of like, I've never tried alcohol. And you're like, I get that. Like, I've never tried cocaine. And that shocks people.
Me neither. Never tried it.
You've never done coke?
I've never done coke. That's stuff we
That's
have
wild.
in common.
That's
Never
so
done
weird.
it because it looks fun. You see the movies. I don't know. I don't like the idea of snorting something.
Yeah, I just don't, I'll freebase it. If you want to fucking send us some cocaine, no, it doesn't look like it's not what I want. I knew a kid who killed himself in New York City because he did too much blow. I'm sure he had other problems too, but he jumped out of like a 30-story window and he fucking.
Pussy. No, sorry. Wait, I didn't know he jumped. I was doing that. That was a cocaine joke. Shit, sorry. I didn't know it was going to go that dark. So wait, he did blow and then jumped?
He just did a ton, and I think it gave him the courage to end it. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had 2 friends die of heroin. One was methadone, and he died, OD'd on it, and one guy died of heroin. It's like, these were party animal guys. These were like fun guys, and they were bummed out.
Funny to call a heroin addict a party animal. Dude's a fucking party animal. He just passed out in a dumpster. You're like, I mean, it's a weird party, I guess. I don't know.
Right. He's foaming at the mouth. He's twitching. That guy, he fucking rages.
That guy parties.
Well, that's what they say when they give you a Coke. You party?
You party. Yeah, I never liked cokeheads. That was like the one Cosby joke where he cursed. Remember
Yes.
I think you might have mentioned this in the past episode, but like, what if cocaine intensifies your personality? What if you're an asshole?
Killer joke. And
yeah,
I mean, it's like a 2-minute laugh break. It's insane.
Yeah.
Because he never cursed, so it meant more, I guess.
It's funny. I remember I did a gig in St. Louis once. I mean, many times, but this time was like the Valley Park Funny Bone, which is no longer there, in between a gun shop and a bird store. So it's got all your needs: laughs, guns, birds, whatever you're into. Yeah. And I remember one of the shows, I was there for like 5 shows, and I had the same agent as Mick Foley, the wrestler, Mankind. And he said, hey, he's doing a show there. It's an extra show. Would you want to host it? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to open for Mankind. Are you kidding me? Like,
hell yeah.
I loved Mick Foley. Like, legit read his book when I was a kid. I love he was like such a lovable wrestler. I mean, he was like the tough guy who took the worst beating of anybody. And he kind of reveled in it. And of course, he was the sweetest guy on the planet, but he followed me on stage by going, man, that's Sam. Funny guy, but he curses a lot, that guy. Well, I'm going to give myself one curse. I get one curse the whole set. And he waited for it. And he's not a comic. He's a storyteller, but his stories were fascinating. Yeah. And he turned to someone and he goes, you tell me when to do it. And the guy pointed and he goes, fuck. He said fuck in the story and it crushed.
Oh, there you go.
There's something about that tension, not knowing when he's going to say fuck and knowing he's like a family type comedian, it was funny.
That's pretty brilliant, that way to set that up like that, because you're just kind of on edge, like, oh, when's it going to come? When's it going to happen?
It was really good. It was really good.
Also, I love that. That's the difference between us and guys like him is it's so funny how some people are so puritanical or whatever the hell you call that, because that guy will slam a dude's face with a folding chair and throw him off the top rope, but he won't say fuck.
Well, he lost part of his ear in fucking barbed wire from a barbed wire match. We're just like, first off, you should know something's going to go wrong when it's called a barbed wire match. I don't care if it's fake. You should know you're walking into a shit show here.
I know. Those guys are all booze bags and pill heads, and they're all fucking beat up.
They have to be. Think about how hard we do the road, and then think of pro wrestlers who are physically getting beaten up.
Oh my God, dude, the Ric Flair documentary, the Andre the Giant documentary, it's all about who can get the most fucked up. I mean, those dudes were fucking wild.
Ric Flair rules.
He really does.
He fucking rules. That guy's awesome. When I was a kid, were you into wrestling as a kid?
Not really. I liked it, but I didn't follow it or anything. I was so into
like guys. Like Bret Hart and Razor Ramon and all those like WWF guys and like I mean, they were so charismatic. It was like, I loved sports and I loved entertainment. This is sports entertainment.
Right. Yeah, it's dramatic too. Like, you're going down, they'd fight Vince McMahon and he'd be pissed or whatever. But
Stone Cold, man.
I liked that it was fake. Everybody's like, "Can you believe it's fake?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what's cool about it. It's like a play with dudes body slamming dudes."
It's like a play for people that don't think the Holocaust happened. It's
yeah, exactly.
This is like Macbeth if you think evolution was a ruse.
Right.
No,
both are fake. But yeah.
No, I love wrestling, man. I really like I loved all those guys. Shawn Michaels, so fucking entertaining.
Yeah, no, it was definitely cool. The character, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and
there was a guy named IRS. He was a villain. Of course, he was Ted DiBiase's guy. IRS. He was like, I get your taxes. Everyone's like, boo.
It's like, we had to have one Jew, I guess.
Oh, if you think that guy was a Jew, I'm flattered. That was not a
Jew. You're right. $1 Million Man got to be a Jew. Yeah, it's wild. Wrestling is really like kind of like progressed. There's like crazy female wrestlers and like there's more diversity. It's a whole new ballgame.
It's great. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't watch it really anymore because it's like, how many things can you watch? You got to make choices. But like, yeah, I mean, growing up, like I loved Macho Man. That was like my guy. He was fucking funny, that guy.
He was funny. Oh, yeah.
It's fucking gold, man. Yeah. What about, give me a rec. Like, what do you recommend this week?
Well, I hate to be a hack, but I gotta push the Tiger doc.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it this week.
Oh, man. It's so good. And they don't really, a lot of these are just like the scandal. Let's ruin this guy. And it's not about that. It's like really about like getting at the heart of how fucked up his childhood was and how crazy of an athlete he was, which is cool. They don't just like ruin him. Obviously he did crazy shit and horrible shit, but like,
and it's a lot about his father-son dynamic, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And now his son looks like he's going to be a great golfer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Are you into golf at all?
I like to swing a club, but I don't play it. I'll do the driving range all day.
Are you good?
Oh, dude, we gotta go out to Chelsea Piers when the spring hits.
I can't do shit. I'm terrible at it.
I'm terrible, but it's fun. I mean, you just hang, you drink beers, you bullshit.
I would do that. Let's fucking do that.
It's super fun. It's super laid back, but like doing the links, I'm clueless.
Yeah, no, that's like a whole thing.
Yeah, you gotta get a caddy.
That's how much work sucks. They get excited to take a day off and golf.
I know. Yeah, well, you ever heard that great Tom Dreesen joke?
No, what is it?
This joke's been morphed into 18 different jokes. It's been stolen, but he had it in like the 70s. He's like, oh, man, my wife, I came home one day. She was naked. She was tied up to the bed. She said, do whatever you want to me. He said, all right, I'm going to play golf.
Classic. Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, do whatever you want. So I'm going to play golf.
To me. Yeah.
I ruined it.
No,
he got some of the best wife jokes.
Yeah. I messaged with him for a while on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, because I just I remember reading that book, I'm Dying Up Here, and like what a stand he took and like what a fucking good dude he seemed to be. So I was just messaging him. I was like, hey man, really respect what you did. And he was so nice that we messaged back and forth a bit. And he very cool guy. Was like one of the first of that crew to get on Carson back in the 70s.
Right.
He was Sinatra's opener.
I mean, come on. What a
that dude's got stories. Yeah. Actually, you just reminded me. I think he just sent me a message. I got to respond to that guy. So I got to,
insane.
Yeah. He's a cool dude. He's a very cool dude. And,
yeah,
he was like one of the, I think he fucking cleaned up on corporates back in the day too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's got to, I mean, just saying Sinatra's opener, he's clean as a whistle. He's like, it's like a silver fox, good looking guy, blazer on.
But a tough guy from Chicago.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. He's like a tough dude.
He's got that great joke. He's like, my wife, yeah, she says she loves me, but she doesn't love me as much as the dog. And the wife's like, no, I love you more than the dog. Trust me. And he's like, I don't know. I think the dog loves me more. And he's like, Harry, how about this? I'm going to put you both in the trunk, drive around for an hour. When I open the trunk, who's going to be happy to see me? God, it's great.
That's fucking strong.
I know. That's a great point. You're like, the dog's always happy.
My one qualm is it's just that the dog doesn't remember.
Obviously,
the dog's got no memory, but it is a good joke.
Hey, folks! Quick update. We totally forgot. We got an ad. Our first official ad for the podcast. You guys are gonna love it. Lucy Nicotine. Look, we all got vices. Everybody's hooked on something. I don't care who you are. I got a friend who quit smoking. Now he loves nicotine gum. He chews it every day. And look, nicotine is not bad for you. It's just the smoking that gets you. So get on board. This is good stuff. Nicotine gum is Lucy Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists to make a tobacco alternative that doesn't taste bad. Researched and developed for 3 years to be made for people, not patients. They got wintergreen, cinnamon, pomegranate, and cherry ice flavor lozenge. Ooh, with 4 milligrams of nicotine.
Baby. That's the stuff right there. Pomegranate, that's healthy. Pomegranate, it's gonna get better. Antioxidants, right? And everyone I talk to about this stuff say it tastes good too. So get on this stuff. Just for our listeners, go to lucy.co. That's lucy.co and use promo code DRINK to get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges. Lucy.co, promo code DRINK at checkout. Also, remember, warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, but if you go to lucy.co and be sure to use that promo code DRINK, you'll get 20% off today.
Yeah, quit smoking, get healthier, and get some gum. They mail it right to your house. You get a subscription. It comes right to your door each month. So simple. Man, I wish I had a booze that came to my door every month.
I wish I could smoke cigarettes just to quit, just to get this nicotine gum. I'll tell you that right now.
Here, here. Yeah, get on it, folks. Lucy Nicotine. Promo code DRINK. Back to the show.
Back to our show. What about my rec is obviously How To with John Wilson, but I already said that. So my other rec is so I've been reading some of these short stories before bed just to fucking sleep, because I can't watch. I was watching Search Party before bed and it gets so intense. I'm like, I can't watch this before bed.
Right.
It's making me too nervous. It's heavy. It's fantastic, but it's so heavy. So been reading some George Saunders on the rec of my buddy Ryan Hamilton. And so this short story is being turned into a movie coming out. I think it's on Netflix coming out, but it's called Escape from Spiderhead. It's completely insane. It's great. It takes place in the future. It's about prisoners who are like, they're either prisoners or they're people that get drugs tested on them all day. Those are the other prisoners. Whoa. And the drugs that get tested on, it's crazy. It's also hilarious, but they get drugs tested on them all day. And some of the drugs make you horny as fuck. So you just fuck. So it'll be like you and this woman in here, and they both take the drugs and they fuck like 3 times straight. And while they're fucking, they're in love. And then they take another thing to fall out of love. And then they'll just test it. So another woman will come in and he'll fuck her with the same thing. And then they'll be like, so now are you still in love with her? And he's like, I'm not in love with her anymore after it comes down. So like, but in the moment he's like, I was in love with her. And they're all prisoners. And then, I think this is called Molly.
I've been there.
Well, so then he goes into another room and he's with a dude. He's like a weird dude. And then he gets called in. He's like, oh, they're doing the same thing with us that they are with the women. We're just all fucking. And this is crazy. And then there's the threat of this other drug that makes you fucked up. So it's like a hangover times 20. You're just a mess, the darkest place. And they're like, who would you rather give this to of the women? He's like, I feel nothing towards either of them. I feel so it's like a weird thing, but it basically turns into a whole mess. And it's hilarious. There's one line, I don't want to give away too much, but there's, he finds out what one of the women he fucked is in for. She murdered 3 people. And one of the lines was, it was at that point that I felt pretty bad about fucking and falling in love with her.
But this is fiction, obviously.
It's fiction, of course.
Okay,
it's this guy, George Saunders, who's hilarious. I think this piece was in the New Yorker like 10 years ago. It's super funny. It's really funny. Yeah,
man, this is a movie.
It's coming out as a movie.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's funny, and it's also dark and also kind of like poignant. It's one of those things where you read and you're like, oh my God, it's so awful they can manipulate these people's feelings. But then also it to me kind of hit me because I'm like, oh wow, we're living through this dark pandemic. So many of these people are dealing with depression and pain, but like, as comics, we're able to fuel that anger or depression into bits at least.
Right.
And it's one of the things is like, even when I get low, I'm grateful that I feel. And it's that idea that you can like take away feeling is so fucked up to me.
Wow.
Like, you think about breakups, you think of depression and you're like, man, that's horrible. But then without that shit, without being able to feel, you can't really connect.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. That's great.
So
Point.
I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I think it's like, check it out. It's on I think it's on the New Yorker website free. It's like, just Google Escape from Spiderhead. It's like 40 pages or something. It's not that long, or maybe even
Oh
less.
yeah. That's
But
quick.
it's
All
great.
right.
It's great. Totally recommend it.
Give me the title again.
Escape from Spiderhead.
Ooh. All right. Boy, that reminds me of what is it? Spotless Mind, Sunshine for
That totally made me think of it. Yeah. Great movie,
Eternal Sunshine. Yeah. I
Fuck.
mean, the
I should
whole thing
rewatch
about
that.
having a breakup, you're so sad, you're so miserable, and you're like, I got to get these memories out of my head. They're making me sad. And they go, okay, sure. Here, come to this lab. We'll do it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, wait, I want these. It's better to have sad memories than no memories. And that's such a great point.
You think that's Jim Carrey's best performance?
That's a good question.
That's
I think
tough,
it's his best
right?
movie by far. But yeah,
Better
he's
than,
great
better
in
than
it.
Truman Show, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Truman Show is good, but it's a little cheesy.
It's got a lot of cheese on it. Like his name is Truman. The guy is Christoph Christ. Like it's a little too much.
Yeah.
But it's
Eternal.
good.
I agree that it's his best movie,
Oh yeah.
but his best
Kate
performance.
Winslet.
It's either. I mean, you got to give The Mask is in the conversation, right?
The who?
The Mask. That's insane. That performance.
Oh
insane.
yes.
I don't like
Great
that comedy
performance.
performances don't get love. Like I always thought, like it was a crime that Eddie Murphy didn't get nominated for The Nutty Professor,
Yes.
because what he did was insane.
Amazing. He played 8 roles. They're all hilarious. They're all different. He commits to all of them.
And that
But-
movie had heart. It's
Yeah.
like not a perfect movie, but look, actors win from movies that aren't great all the time. If it's really about the performance, his performance was fucking. I think Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor is on par with like.
Yeah. It's
You know.
incredible. It's up there with like, some, I don't want to say Daniel Day-Lewis, but like that is harder in a lot of ways than what other these like, Juilliard actors are doing.
Totally. And I love Daniel Day-Lewis, but I'm just saying,
I do
like,
too.
show some fucking love to
Yes.
Eddie Murphy. And Jim Carrey, like The Mask is another example. Like, look, it's not a fucking great movie, but Jim Carrey's fucking insane in it.
Unbelievable. And that was like his second big movie. He had Ace Ventura, then The Mask, and he was still hungry. I feel like he was still, a comic. He was in Living Color a little bit, but he needed it, and he fucking brought the heat.
It's funny is I was just watching an Instagram thing about Dana White from UFC talking about Conor McGregor. Like, yeah, man, he's got a mansion. He's got all the nice shit he wants. Like, it's like Rocky 3 is what he said. It's like, does he still want it? Like, it's interesting. At a certain point, it's like, if you're still great when you've got all this shit, you're fucking great.
Aha. Good point. Yeah, I agree. That's why, Bill Burr is still great. He's loaded. He's still great. You got to respect that.
And the best fucking dude too.
Yeah, like Dave Attell could pack it up, but you know what it is? It's that inner monologue of hatred. That self-hatred keeps you going. No matter how rich you get, you can't buy that off.
Dave Attell is the king.
The king. No one funnier. But I want to say Jim Carrey, Man on the Moon, is one of the best performances. I mean,
I've honestly never seen it.
It's not a great movie. First of all, it's Milos Forman who did Cuckoo's Nest. So watch it for that.
I love Milos Forman, man.
Yeah, amazing director.
Cuckoo's Nest is a masterpiece.
Well, that's one of the best. That's in the top 10 maybe. But it's the story's not amazing, but I was an Andy Kaufman fan growing up as a kid, and he nails it so perfectly. Like you'd watch them back to back, and it would be hard to tell if you didn't know their faces.
I've seen clips and it's insane. Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but the clips I've seen, yeah, I fucking love Jim Carrey, man. Like, how do you not love Jim Carrey? It's like, it is to me like a sign that you're losing it a little bit when you start painting. Like him and George W. Bush, and you're like, oh boy.
That's great. That's a bit.
That's
great. That's hilarious. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I love Jim Carrey though. I mean, like, talk about our childhoods. Like, think about the 90s. Like Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler. Like that was.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking like big comedy movie stars, like I love those dudes.
Yeah, I mean, throw Robin Williams in the mix. Like I would always think about those guys on the couch at Letterman. Like if Jim Carrey was on Letterman, it was lights out. He was going to do, 18 impressions. He was going to flip over backwards. He's wearing a yellow blazer. I mean, it was over.
I met Robin Williams once at the cellar. He was
What?
such a nice guy. It was so cool.
Wow.
He's not what you expect. He's a soft-spoken, quiet guy. I just, for whatever reason, I sat down not thinking, and I was like, I looked across, I'm like, that's fucking Robin Williams. And I'm shy as hell because I, like any of us, grew up, you know, Mrs. Doubtfire, like
Aladdin,
fucking, you know,
Good Will Hunting,
everything. So we just end up chatting. Like I'm just,
what?
You know, yeah, we talked for like 45 an hour, like something like that. And he could not be cooler. He's such
you
a good
never told me this.
I never told you this. He could not have been cooler. We talked for like, 45 to an hour. We're talking about life and love. And like, he's telling me about his divorce. It was fucking, that's what I love about comics. He just can't get him out of the cellar, not even to go on. Just, he's like, I want to be around comics. That's the type of dude he was. So yeah, we end up chatting for like a while. And I remember asking him, like, he told me, he's like, man, I lost so much money to my last divorce, like so much money. And I said, like, oh man, he goes, yeah, well, you know, she earned it. You know, I was like, and then he said,
good line.
And I said something like, well, like, he's like, well, this new one, I think it'll be all right. And I was like, well, why do you keep getting married? I just said it like kind of blatantly, like, why do you keep getting married? And he goes, you keep thinking it's going to be the one. And I was like, oh man, it was like so sincere. It was like, so, you know, and we chat for a while. And I remember like, as he got up at the end, we had this great talk about everything, comedy, all this shit.
Insane.
He gets up and he just shakes my hand. He goes, it was great to meet you, Sam. And like he said, I was like, oh my God, that's why like he's a star. He makes you feel so important in that moment.
Right.
Like, oh my God.
Wow. I can't believe one talk with you made him kill himself.
What's crazy? Shit. What's crazy was it was the next day. But you know,
oh man,
no, he was so
that's
so
amazing.
Nice. Oh, it's crazy, dude. And
Jesus, I had
oh man,
no
shit,
idea.
I was a kid. I fucking love like Peter Pan and shit, like everything he did.
Yeah, Hook, unbelievable. All that shit was great. I love Jack. You know, Flubber, whatever it was. I mean, he was a
Flubber was rough.
That's true. I threw that one in.
I don't know if Jack was good either. I feel like now we're just getting like way too cool.
I saw Jack in the theater. I don't know. Fran Drescher was hot in it. But
she was hot, dude.
She's hot, underrated hot lady.
She's probably still hot.
I bet she is. She's probably getting all milfy and probably has like some fake lips now or something. Wait. Oh, Eddie Murphy. I wanted to say this about Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Such a phenom, such a talent, obviously like a living legend, yada, yada, yada. But I don't think he should do stand-up again. You know, everybody's like, he's coming back. He's got a new hour.
Is that still happening?
I don't know. He talked about it on Comedians in Cars, and he was coming to the store every now and then. But like, I think he should just, you know, do it if you want, Eddie. But it's not going to live up to the hype. And
doing it for the payday is a bummer.
What's that?
I mean, like, dude, Mark, we're purists, man. So when like we hear that one of the biggest stars ever and one of the greatest stand-ups ever takes 35 years off and then is coming back for this insane payday, like, yeah, it's going to bum us out a little bit if he's not going to take it as seriously as we hope it's taken.
Yeah, but it's not even that. I mean, I don't even think he's doing it for the payday. I think he's doing it because he's like, I'm bored. Everybody's like egging me on.
Didn't he make a joke about that on SNL? How he's got like 8 or 10 kids or something, and he's like, it's a lot of money.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe you're right. Shit. Well, that's even sadder. But I get, look, hey, if he needs the money, I guess, fuck it, why not?
I get it. We're just purists, man. We just love, like, do whatever you want, but stand up we hold for whatever reason so holy, and we love it so much. So, but also, yeah, I totally hear what you're saying. I mean, I've rewatched some of his movies during the pandemic and that I grew up on, like Beverly Hills Cop, which might be my favorite one. I just love it so much. And Coming to America, brilliant. I mean, he's incredible. He's so lovable.
Oh, he's the best. I mean, he's the king, and he's just got it. Like, no one has more it than him, but I'm just worried that he's going to do Carnegie Hall, and Michael Che's going to go, and I'm going to go, how was it? And he's going to go, it was pretty rough, and it's going to kill me. I can see that happening.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things that like stand-up takes work. I think
it does.
It's not like
That's a great way to put it.
It's not like other things where you can kind of just bullshit. And like, I think it all takes work. I think that's why some of these movies, when you surround yourself with too many yes men, I do think the work tends to suffer. And we talk about like the price of success. Like, yeah, you're rich, but the work will sometimes suffer when you or you surround yourself with people that laugh at whatever you say, and you end up putting out some shitty movies,
Yes.
Also,
completely.
of course, the studios, I'm sure, play a role in dumbing shit
Right.
down. Like
Yep,
you
yep.
got, I mean, it's not like Eddie's not funny. Like everyone knows he's like
course.
one of the funniest dudes ever, but like you got to work at this shit.
You got to work and you got to fail. And him failing is devastating to people. And a lot of people don't get it. How many people do you know that go, I saw a stand up twice in a month and he did the same act. What a weirdo. And you're like, no, that's how it works, but like you got to bomb to get good material. And I don't think the world is ready for that. And I don't know.
That's a really great and important point to remember, that what creates great comedy a lot of the time is failure, and failure with someone at that level is a fucking news story.
Exactly. And that's what's going to fuck him up. It's going to fuck his head up. I hope he's strong enough to just push through and fail for a while. And then,
well, he's definitely strong enough. Is the point is like, does he like if say Eddie Murphy rolls into the cellar and has a rocky set, as good as the cellar security is, that shit could end up on page 6.
I know. And that's horrible. And that's what people don't get. I mean, they did, Louis had the leak set that got him in trouble. And it's like, yeah, he said horrible shit, but
that was fucking bullshit, dude. That was
bullshit.
Like, I even had to talk to my mom about that. My mom was like, what do you think of this? And I was like, what do I think of them leaking an unfinished set?
Yes.
I think it's terrible. I think it's disgusting. I think
agreed.
I think we all make it was an excuse for people to be mad at Louis, because what it was
you're right.
They were already angry with him. And this was just another story that they got to pile on, because you loved when Louis made those jokes when you loved Louis.
9/11 joke.
You just don't like Louis now.
Right,
so
right.
It's not a story. It's a set that he did at a tiny club in Long Island that got leaked. That's what it is.
And by the way, they're all good. It's so unfunny. How can he say? I'm like, well, first of all, he's murdering. He's killing. Yeah. So you can't really say it's not funny. And second, you can't enjoy the old stuff without. This is the process. This is part of it.
It's just like, he didn't play the game. He didn't play the path to redemption cancellation game. So he doesn't get to make edgy jokes for what they say anymore. That's that's the rules that have been set. And I've talked to friends about this. I always find that the conversation with cancellation interesting, because this is not like a trial. This is a guy who people have decided is gone.
Right.
This is another conversation, obviously. But when people talk about this, it's like, all right, but you don't get to just make someone disappear because you don't like them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not how it works. I mean, we can have that conversation on how we don't like what happened, but we can also say, you're not a jury. You're a fucking dude with the Twitter egg. So, you know what I mean? It's a bigger conversation for another episode.
Well, that's why I hate when they go, hey, it's not a canceling. We're not canceling people. It's the public deciding this guy should not work anymore. You're like, well, the public is coming out to his sold out shows. So you're saying you're the public, but the public is paying millions of dollars to watch his internet special he put out. So who's the public and who's not,
It's a game.
It's a game.
It's a game that needs to be played. And, it's exhausting when you think about the game, it's.
This is the beauty of the Tiger doc, to bring it back to that. They go through everybody wanted him to be the best. He was the biggest. We all got behind him. And then, the scandals happen. We love crashing down on it. We love seeing him fail, and we pile on. And then he redeems himself again. And that's what the public really likes, is that roller coaster of drama, even though it's his fucking psyche that's going through hell.
Well, I hope Louis gets that shot. I really do. And, I think it was beautiful with Tiger. I thought the match where he won that incredible match lately was it's what people love about sports and what people love about entertainment. Right. And, that guy went through fucking hell. I mean, it's hell. Here's what I say. It's kind of like when you get detention as a kid and your parents are like, I'm punishing you. And you're like, no, the detention's the punishment. It's kind of it's like when they're like, we're throwing you out, and they're like, dude, my wife left me.
Yeah, yeah.
I lost
right.
my wife. It fucked up my life. Like, it's a weird thing to me when I'm like, yeah, the guy cheated on his wife. It's fucking bad. It's not good. Guess what? That's between him and his wife.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not for us to be like, you're a shitty husband.
Right, right.
You could say that, but it's not your fucking business at the end of the day. It's just not.
And we've all done fucked up shit, and no one just noticed it because you weren't famous and you weren't on the chopping block. But we're all flawed. You just did it. You cheated on your wife in a different way. You cheated on your taxes, or you stole something, or you ran over a kid and didn't tell anybody. So there's all everybody's got their thing.
We've all run over a kid.
Yeah, some kids shouldn't be around. But yeah. But
no,
exactly.
it makes me a little annoyed. People like to get on their little fucking soapbox. They like to be like, well, I've never done this. And you're like, cool. How many women knocked on your hotel room door at fucking midnight, motherfucker? I'm not defending the guy. I'm just saying, let's have a little compassion. I don't think we need to be more accepting, but we could be a little more forgiving as a people. Yes. So let's all chill the fuck out. I can't wait to watch it. I'm not even a golf guy, but I love a good doc, and
it's amazing. And we work hard and like want to be great at comedy, and he's got the same mentality. And there's this great scene where he's up against Phil Mickelson, who's apparently like this phenom golf guy. I didn't even
fucking know. Badass. Yeah, he's awesome.
Badass guy apparently, and they both have some hard hit, like some difficult drive or whatever it is. I don't know the term.
Not a sports podcast.
Yeah, and Phil does good, and then Tiger hits it, and it goes further, but not that much further. And Phil's like, "Boy, that was tough, huh? Man, do you always hit that hard?" He goes, "Oh, I usually hit harder. That was a bad one." And he's just like, "Damn!" He's just trying to get in this guy's head. He's cutting.
This would be such a good. They should let us just drunkenly call the next PGA Tour. That guy had a hard hit, but that other guy hit it harder.
The white guy was really upset. The black guy, he was happy. Yeah, it's the most basic.
That's like Happy Gilmore when he just turns to Shooter, goes, "Somebody's closer."
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, yeah, I can't wait to watch it. You know what movie I watched last night that I'd never seen? That's a pretty dope movie. It's on HBO Max. Have you ever seen Sexy Beast with Ben Kingsley?
Oh, dude, that's a stylized, badass, fun movie.
It's too super. Todd Barry, for the last 14 times we hung out, he's like, "Watch Sexy Beast. Watch Sexy Beast." It's like his favorite movie. So I watched it last night.
Really?
Like, it's a good movie. It's a Ray Winstone kind of underrated, I think.
I agree. And it's so cool looking and weird. And you get sucked in and it gets your blood pumping, your anxiety's going. And he's so scary because he's such a psycho, Ben Kingsley.
So good, dude. Such a good actor. But it's also 90 minutes. Shout out to a movie that can pull things off and tell a tale in a short amount of time. Because I so many times
that
movies...
But yeah, no, completely. Good point. Every movie now is 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, it's tough. It's and look, I'll watch a series. Some series will get greedy sometimes. Like you rewatch Sopranos and you're like, man, they didn't waste a fucking scene, man. And then you watch some of these shows now where it's like it takes 4 episodes to get in, and you're like, and then you watch and you're like, yeah, how's that? And they're like, episode 5's not even that good. And you're like, what are you wasting my fucking life now?
I know. It's weird. I hate that, especially now because we're more ADD than ever. Everything's 2 seconds and quick, and Instagram and all that shit scrolling. But yet shows and movies are getting longer. Like Making a Murderer could have been 2 episodes. I know that's 5 years old now, but like,
oh, dude,
that was so long. They stretched that shit out.
Enough with that one. I love true crime, and that one was like, we get it.
Yes, he's an idiot. All right, we got it. He's a backwoods hillbilly.
10, 11 episodes. Meanwhile, the Jinx is 6. The Jinx is 10 times more interesting to me.
10 times better. That's a work of art, by the way. That Jinx.
That's my favorite one. The Jinx.
That's pretty amazing. The Staircase was another one that was like 8.
It was but that one earned
hours.
it. That one fucking earned it. Too.
Oh, we could have got that in 4 eps.
That one was fucking brilliant, dude.
Look, I enjoyed it. I love that lawyer guy, Rudy. He was killer. But
Rachel DM'd with him for a while.
What?
Yeah, because she's obsessed with true crime. Rachel Feinstein, our buddy, great comic, close friend.
Yeah.
But she ends up just following him on Twitter, and he followed her back, and she's like DMing him, and he's telling her stuff about the case, like that
What?
yeah, and he was like couldn't have been cooler. She said she was like he was such a nice guy, and he was incredible, dude. No, that doc was fucking brilliant. It was also
I
beautifully shot.
Yeah, and he clearly did it, right?
Clearly.
All right.
Oh my God. What guy who didn't do it is like, yeah, follow me around for 13 fucking episodes.
Yeah. He's like, an owl came in and hit her in the head. I'm like, what?
The owl theory.
Yeah, and then this is the second wife that fell down the stairs. I'm like, at least mix it up. What the fuck are you doing?
Your Honor, what about birds? Have we ever thought about if birds can do it?
Exactly, yeah.
No, it's complete insanity. Even in the end, I think it was like the last fucking scene of the whole series when he goes, I got this Alexa. He goes, which first off, I'm like, you might not want something listening to you because your phone calls might be incriminating. Second off, then he just goes, Alexa, play Leonard Cohen. And it was like, he's like, this is my favorite. And it was like, everybody knows the deal is rotten. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Just come on, everybody knows that you're a fucking murderer.
Woo! That's like OJ. What's your favorite movie? So I Married an Axe Murderer. But by the way, you got a bit?
I do. We got to do a pet peeve too, though. But I'll do a bit.
Yeah.
Should we do a peeve first or a bit?
Let's do a peeve because I want to hear yours. I got a little one that happened to me today.
Okay. People who you go first.
Oh, okay. I feel like you're gonna have a closer here, so
I don't have shit. I have like a mediocre one.
Mine's not great either, but in an Uber, it's 5 a.m. I'm hungover. I'm on 2 hours of sleep, just trying to get to the airport, and I had the chatty Uber driver, which is fine. I get it. He's bored. It's 5 a.m.
5 a.m.'s tough,
but he's doing this one, and I fucking can't stand this where. He would go like, he would yawn. He yawned like twice in a row. He's like, sorry, man, I'm yawning a lot. Sorry about that. I'm like, oh, I don't care. And then he rolled his window. Sorry, I rolled my window down. I need a little air. Sorry about that. I'm like, yeah, you're good. He put the radio on. It went like a little loud. Sorry, that was a little loud. Sorry about it. I'm like, stop apologizing. I hate the people who keep apologizing because you're like, the apologizing is worse than the things you did.
Right.
It just because then you got to keep going. No, you're good. You're good. Too many sorries. Too much.
I'm with you. No, I think that's a great point. And it drives me nuts when people are like, they don't do big. The offense is not matching the apology.
Yes, exactly. You're making me blow you. I got to keep validating you. Yes, no, it's okay. I don't care because I really didn't care. I'm just sitting back there trying.
5 a.m. I have to keep saying no biggie. Do you throw the sleeping mask on too? Do you do that as like kind of like just so you know I'm out of commission? Do you do that move?
No, wow, that's harsh.
I do that in the car. I put the sleeping mask on.
What? Damn.
If it's 5 a.m., is that harsh? It's.
I don't know. It's like
he's not it's not my buddy on a road trip. We're fucking. I'm on my way to the airport. I'm half awake. Why is that a big deal?
I'll put the headphones in and go, hey, man, if I fall asleep, don't take it personal or something. I'll throw a line in or something, but a sleeping
you take it. You go better than I do. Here's a weird thing. New York Uber drivers never speak to you. In LA, they talk to you better 99% of the time.
Yep.
I have no problem with it. But like when I'm fucking half awake, I got a problem. If I'm up, I'll talk. But if it's 5 a.m., I ain't talking. I
know the sun's not even out yet. I got half a boner. I'm in pajamas, and this guy's like, "Oh man, you see that news story?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't care. Who cares? We got a 20-minute ride."
See that news story about that Uber driver who hacked up his passenger? You're like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's like, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm going to New York." "Whoa, New York City, big city boy." This guy grew up on a
Big
farm.
Apple. Look at you.
Yeah.
Big city slicker. Not me.
I always try to put it back on them. Like, where are you from? He's like, I'm from around here, born and raised. And they're like, shit, that was a mistake. Because then he goes off on his life story.
For the record, couldn't give a fuck if we're talking during the day, but when it's 5 a.m., I'm sleeping in that car.
Same. That's what I wanted to do, but he just kept apologizing. It was driving me nuts.
That morning shift is tough. That's gonna be a tough shift.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
All right, I got a couple. First off, people who say, "and I'm here for it." And I'm here. It's like, by the way, we know you're here. You have to announce yourself.
Good point. Yeah, never thought about that.
Like, oh, so you know you're invisible. That's why you're fucking announcing it. And I'm
Right.
here. Oh, we know you're fucking here.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut the fuck
What's
up.
an example? Give me a sentence. Use it in a sentence, like a spelling bee.
Oh, fucking blah, blah, blah. Let me think. Like
Negronis are half off at this bar, and I'm here for it.
and
Like
I'm
that.
here for, yeah. Negronis are half off and I'm here for it. Yeah.
Okay.
like,
That's
okay.
annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying.
That's brutal.
I got a bigger one now. This is my even bigger.
All right.
one.
All right.
Have you seen the new Heineken commercial with the father and son playing Cats in the Cradle? Have you seen that shit?
No.
Oh my God. It's like it's first off, it's like a Heineken Zero ad where they're like playing Cats in the Cradle the whole time. It's a father and son. And they're like, we'll be together then, or no, we'll have a good time then. It's like, fuck you, Heineken. Like,
Yeah.
Whatever happened to hot women in fucking beer commercials? Like whatever
Right.
happened to, you're going to make me like deal with shit I've talked about in therapy during a commercial. This is supposed to be escapist. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Well, I guess it's non-alcoholic, so they gotta hit the queefs of the group. You know, they gotta hit the ladies. I don't know, but it's too emotional. This is booze here.
You haven't
Give
seen
me a
this
strip
ad?
club or a casino.
Dude, you know who never made me deal with shit that I've talked about in therapy is Bud Light Lime. Shout out to beer commercials that don't make me deal with my trauma.
Right. You don't see that shit with Slits.
And you know what? You should. That's a deadbeat dad drink right there.
Right. You know that drink goes well with tears. My dad would drink Schlitz hot. He would just keep a box on the floor like a case
he wouldn't.
and just drink one.
Who the
Crazy.
fuck was he? Paul Newman in the fucking Verdict? Jesus Christ.
Well, he was a Southern lawyer. He's
That's what I
losing his
mean.
tie. Yeah, he's got the sweat on the brow.
Schlitz. That's
Popping
fucking
a Schlitz.
gross.
Oh yeah, he was a scary man.
Hit me with a bit.
All right, here we go. Now this could be horrible. I thought of it on the plane today, and it just kind of hit me as it could be something. So it's not worked out in any way. Very
that's
raw.
Same with mine.
All right, good. Oh shit, my notes just keep going. Hold on. How do you get to the bottom of notes on your iPhone quickly?
I don't know.
Is there a
I
move
do
for
this.
that?
I usually just search. I'm fucking terrible. at it.
Oh, that's smart. Okay. All right. This is a little harsh, baby, to my lady, but I think there could be a bit here. So she's dying to get married. Like she's pushing it pretty hard, and I'm a child. I'm scared, and I'll probably, I have an opener where I say I'll eventually pull the trigger and kill myself. But
That's good.
But my point is, she's like, well, I want to have a bond, like a legal bond, so I know this is serious and you're not going anywhere, or I'm not going anywhere. And I'm like, yeah, but how about you just be cool and I'll keep you around? Like why not just be fun? You got to earn it. You can't just now I've signed something that'll just cause you to cut back and lay low. You got to earn. Why not keep being fun, keep being like you are, and I'll still be there. It's just weird that we have to have a contract instead of just like, what if I sign the contract, then you just change and start slacking off?
It's like, what are you, my agent? You know what I mean? Like it's tough. It is funny where it's like, her mind is like, why can't we just have a contract so we know we're cool? And you're like, why can't we just not have a contract so I know you're cool?
Exactly. Oh, that's a good line. Yeah, like just keep being cool and I won't go anywhere and neither will you. But it's weird that it just feels like, hey, once we sign this, I can become, shitty. I don't want a contract, I want compatibility.
Hilarious that's where your mind is at though too. It's like that should also be like an added part where you're like, you're so scared to take it to the next level because you're like, she's just gonna become bad. Right.
It's almost like unionizing. No, I want you to be a good employee, and I'll be a good employee. But if we unionize, then you can just start slacking off and go, "Hey, I'm in union."
That's fucking good, dude. That's
funny. Is that something? I think
it's funny that's how little trust you have in her to like stay cool. You're like, well, if I get you a ring, it'll become shitty.
Right. Yeah, you get time off and shit. I don't know. It might be too mean that I'm making it like a job. parallel?
I think you can pull it off. I think you can thread the needle here, but yeah, I mean, you are coming off like kind of a dick here. I think, but I do think it's okay if the joke is funny enough.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
the idea that she's like, I want to make sure you're serious about me, and she needs a ring for that. But you're like,
yeah.
well, I think there are other ways you have to show. Like, well, there's other ways I show I'm serious is by, like, what's other ways that you show you're serious right now?
Well, we live together. We sleep in the same bed every night. We do things. We go on trips. We love each other. Yada yada. I mean, it's all there. It just doesn't have the little on a piece of paper in a courthouse.
That's so funny. It's like she needs the document.
Yes, exactly.
It's like supposed to be romantic, but it feels like you're giving up.
Right. You know what it feels like? It feels like I got the car on the lot and it's great. It's running great. And right when I pull off the lot and sign the paper, the bumper falls off. But I don't know.
I'm going to ask you a question now that maybe our mutual therapist would ask you.
Oh God.
Why are you assuming the second you sign the paper that the bumper is going to fall off?
Because now she's got me by the short and curlies. It's legal now. So she's like, you can't get out of the mask is gonna come off. She's gonna gain 10 pounds. Yeah, it's gonna be over.
That's the best fucking. You need to add this part. The best part is that you're like, what's your biggest fear? She's gonna gain 10 pounds.
Should have said 50.
Why wouldn't you give her what she wants? She could gain 10 pounds. I mean, that to me, it's so fucking funny. But I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like, it is a power shift. It is like
right.
You right now, you have the power because you have something she wants. If you give that up, you've lost the power. I get that.
Right. It's kind of like if you're renting and the toilet breaks, they fix it. If you own the house, you got to fix the toilet. Maybe that's a stretch. But
no, I don't think it's a stretch. I think it's interesting. It's like, this is now we have to fix this. Now it's on me. So you think of yourself. It's funny. So you think of her as the house.
Yes.
And if you're renting, you can get out. But if you buy, it's a little more complicated.
Exactly. Maybe that's an angle. That's a comparison.
Yeah. If you buy, you either gotta fucking just abandon, or you gotta hope some other guy's interested.
Yeah, you deal with it. Oh, that's great. That's great.
There's something there. I mean, the premise is fucking funny. It's funny because it comes from a kind of a fucking, like, it comes from a place that, like, you're a little upset you feel trapped, but also you do feel a little bad that you feel trapped.
Yes, of course. I mean, zillions of people have gotten married over history and had a great time and happy and all that. So I'm obviously playing it up, but my whole thing is like, it's kind of like a restaurant saying, oh, you have to eat here now so we can slack off on the quality. But if the restaurant is just constantly good, we'll just keep coming back. That's my point.
It's almost like saying now you have to eat here. And you're like, whereas,
exactly.
If you choose to eat there, it's almost like, oh, this will be good. You want the restaurant to still bring it. You still want them to prove it to you. And you associate marriage. Man, women are just fucking kind of better in certain ways because they just assume they kind of don't care. They just want to make sure they're taken care of.
Exactly.
Whereas men were like, you gotta fucking still do this and this and this. It is interesting. I mean, there's a lot there. There's so much there, I think.
They're smart in that way. I mean, they're great negotiators, obviously. I mean, you argue with a lady and it's tough to win. They know what they're doing. They're clever and they have to cover their ass. I don't even blame her because, that's not like they can beat us up or anything. So they got to cover their ass some way. By the way, side tag, you said don't gain 10 pounds is funny. What if you say it's romantic to say don't change? I love you the way you are. Don't change. But it sounds worse to say don't gain
10 pounds. I fucking love that.
Right. All right.
I tried to do a bit the other night. It's not like a finished bit or anything, but the idea of like how people say it's got a big heart. that's a compliment, but that's one of the only organs that's like a good thing. He's like rare. Like, you got to meet this guy. He's got an enlarged prostate. This guy's fucking awesome.
Oh, that's nice. I like
There's something
that.
there. All right, let me try something about this. This is interesting. I have this whole thing about like young people. I have a lot of bits now about being young and coming of age bits. And I mean, that's kind of where you go when you're burning a ton of material. But I have a lot of, I think, some funny stories now in the act about it. But I have one thing about hearing younger people talk about. I saw how young people just throw out compliments so easily now. Everything's like the self-esteem now is insane. The praising seems nonstop with young people. I saw a kid, he had like a water bottle, but it was filled with vodka, and he explained to his friend, I overheard this, he goes, well, they're both clear, so I was able to sneak vodka in this water bottle. And his friend goes, genius. I was like, genius. Like, what? I think the word you're looking for is frugal. I don't think genius is the word. Like, what are you going to do? It may be stealthy. I don't fucking know. But what are you going to do when some genius shit actually happens? Or like, we found a cure for cancer. They're like, nice. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know that's not the right punchline, but you know what I'm talking about? Where they're like,
no, I like that. We're upping the words too much. We're blowing our load on the words.
Exactly. We're blowing our load too soon. And it's like, yeah, I just think certain shit just is. Not everything's great. If you, not everything has to be great. Enjoy the mediocre.
Yeah.
Don't praise everything.
That's not genius with the vodka. That's a high five moment. Like, nice, well done, good on you.
That's the nice moment.
Yeah, exactly. That's nice. But you're right. You can't go too far, because then when the real thing happens, it's the same with love. It's like when these relationships, they date for a week and they go, I love you. And you're like, yeah, but now you're just taking the teeth out of love. That's a heavy word,
That also could be funny too, is like, as a young person, that's genius. As an adult, you do that shit. They're like, what's wrong with you? Just buy a drink. You can't afford one drink.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I remember making that switch with people. Like, I just stole a bunch of wings off that table. And my friend's like, I can buy you wings.
I remember I used to roll with like the Dasani bottle full of whiskey too. That was another move I would do.
Same. That's true. Blowing your load on words there's a lot there. We do that with everything.
Well, we do it with language. Like, we have no respect for language anymore.
Yeah. I mean, Seinfeld's got that bit about like, everything's great and everything sucks. There's not much in the middle. And then Louis got that bit about like, hilarious. No, hilarious is when you fall over, trembling from laughter. You didn't even laugh at that joke.
I remember that special. That was a good special.
Great special. It's called Hilarious. Yeah. There might be something where he goes brilliant or something.
Well, the British do that. There's maybe a connection there. The British say brilliant for whatever, and it's like, it's not fucking brilliant.
Right.
They just say brilliant, like cool. It's funny how the British are loose with everything. The British will say cunt like it's nothing. They'll say brilliant like it's nothing.
Also, weird that the British just throw around bloody. That's a bloody good show. You're like, Jesus Christ. That's a little dark.
Yeah, that's a bloody good show. Americans say bloody. We fucking killed somebody. You know what I mean?
We mean it. That's a period or a murder or something. It's not just a bloody good meal.
There's something here. I don't know. I don't have a turn on this yet, but I'll find it.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Can't blow your load on words, because what are you going to do when something crazy happens? We do it with insane too. Oh man, that movie was insane. Like, no, insane is when you have to be put in a straitjacket in a padded room. That was a movie with a lot of explosions.
You're right. The premise is like, there's no respect for language anymore. There's no respect for meaning, and it's like, I don't know where I'm going yet, but there's something here. I'll crack this shit.
I think we do it with kind of everything, because you have to be heard now. There's so much.
That's what it is.
There's so much shit out there. There's so much content, YouTube and social media, that you have to be like, I was outraged. Like, were you outraged, or were you just kind of like annoyed or something? You have to go all in on words.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's almost like headlines. Like, the way we use headlines on like Twitter, where it's like, this person did this, and you're kind of like, they didn't really do that.
Right, exactly. Stabbing on 23rd. You're like, no, the guy had a knife, but nobody got stabbed. They always up it because they got to sell papers.
Yeah, I'll play with this. There's something here. Can we do a news story real quick?
Yeah, yeah, I like that. That's
There's
good.
something there. Here's a news. I got it. Two quick ones. We gotta like, and I think this is a good thing. We got to shout out, obviously, the great Larry King who passed away.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. the
Legend.
King.
I mean, dude. First off, I for whatever reason I rewatched his Brando interview over the summer, and like,
Wow.
it's so funny. Like Brando was so fucking funny too. But yeah, Larry King was great at what he did. Shouts out. Eight times married to 7 women.
Unbelievable. See, they all slacked off, so he had to get out. All right, I'm joking, but also a Jew.
Yeah, I loved him. He was great.
Yeah.
I tweeted the one time I wish Piers Morgan replaced Larry King.
That's great. Wow, that's a good joke.
And I got to also shout out, I'm a baseball guy, so Hank Aaron dying, man.
Oh yeah,
the home run champ in my mind. I know Barry Bonds passed him, but like clearly cheated. And like I love Barry Bonds as a player too, but like Hank Aaron was the fucking dude. Started playing in the late 50s. Like the racism this dude dealt with when he passed Babe Ruth's record, like had to worry for his fucking wife and kids. Like, can you imagine being that good at baseball and you can't even enjoy passing Babe Ruth's record? Like bullshit. There was a great article in the New York Times about him today where the last line was incredible. It's a long piece, but it was so good. And the last line says, Hank Aaron, a quote, "I never wanted them to forget Babe Ruth. I just wanted them to remember Henry Aaron."
Ooh.
Incredible guy.
Wow.
And I've seen him interviewed. There was a great interview. A-Rod, he's on baseball on ESPN. He's on the whatever, Baseball Tonight, whatever. And A-Rod is interviewing him. And it's such a great interview. Like the reverence that A-Rod just spoke to him with and just the respect was just so cool. Like A-Rod just marveled. Like he was like looking at his hands. He was like, this guy's got huge hands and huge wrists. He had the quickest swing. Yeah. So shouts out to the great Henry Aaron, Hank Aaron, Hammer and Hank.
Yes, good shout out.
Incredible
How old
guy.
Was he?
86, I think, or 85.
Oh, wow.
86, I believe. Yeah. He was such a fucking badass. So, and if you see him speak, you just love the guy instantly. Just a classy man. No,
I saw you post a few things. I watched them all. Just a humble, good dude, and like got death threats and all that shit, and just rolled with it. Never seemed. He was like stoic.
Yeah, he was a cool dude, and just one of the greatest baseball players ever. Still leads the MLB, I believe, in total bases and RBIs, and he's got like 3,700 hits, which is third, which is insane when you think about 3,700 something hits. He's behind like Pete Rose and someone else. I forgot who, but
wow.
Insane.
And that's no roids.
No roids, man. Beast. It's so funny that he played for the Braves too. They were like talking about the racism he dealt with and the minor leagues, and they go to the Braves. It's so funny. He's like, well, that's a different racism, I guess. I don't know. But
that could be a bit. That's funny. Man, wow, that's gonna be hard to follow that whole little remembrance there. That because I got the worst news story of all time.
Hit me,
and it's a horrible joke, and I'm ashamed of it because yours was killer. Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle explodes in UK woman's home, and all my joke was, boy, that's some big wick energy.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Well, it's like wordplay, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's a tweet.
But I did a bit on Spade's show, Lights Out, when that was on. I had a bit about like when Chris Martin was like still trying to talk to her or something. And I was like, man, how good is this woman's vagina that he still wants to talk to her after she treated him? And then I got the candle and I was like, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. You know?
That's great.
It got a groan when I said it at first, and then it hit, and Spade went, he goes, you got to let him finish, folks. and I got like an extra laugh. I was like, oh, it's nice when Spade comes in and tags your joke.
What does it smell like? Did you really get one?
No, it was a joke.
Oh, okay.
It smells like a vagina, apparently.
I know, but I mean, what the hell is that? Flesh? Is that fish? Is that what are we talking here?
I'll tell you, I'm not about to drop the money she wants to find out.
They sold out in like record time, apparently.
I mean, yeah, it's fucking weird. Weird shit sells, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like those Bernie sweaters sold out in 10 seconds and he gave it all to charity. Pretty badass.
He's a character, man. Like he really is like, it's like almost like Attell meets Larry David, that like level of curmudgeonry.
Right. Yeah. It's so funny what goes viral. Like you can never predict it. He's tried
Never.
to be president. He's tried to do this and make moves and nobody really gave a shit. Then he's got 2 mittens on and a folding chair and everybody's like, we love it.
So true. Well, we should also say, remember to subscribe to patreon.com/one more drink pod. We're still under that right now. We'll let you know if that changes.
Yeah.
We were about to drop 2 episodes this week. One's going to be completely free. The other one's going to be Patreon. That's a bonus, both bonus eps. And make sure to email us at least temporarily, one more drink with Mark and Sam at gmail.com.
Yes.
And rate us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get this shit.
Oh yeah. Tell a friend, share it, spread the love. We're all over the Apple, the Spotify, we're on YouTube. So yeah, get on board.
I'm loving this,
Sorry
man.
about the name change.
We're sorry. We might be drunk. That's the new name.
Yes.
I'm loving it. We're just going to call this We Might Be Drunk episode 7, though. We're just going to roll with it.
Keep
No
going.
more bullshit.
We've changed names more than Frank Abagnale. All right. That's a hell of a deep pull there.
Yeah. We've changed names more times than Elliot Page, I'll tell you.
I thought about that, but it's only one change.
You're all right. I'll tell you.
Woo.
I'll tell you.
All
No
right,
respect
folks.
at all, you know? Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate you.
God love you. Take care.